Are we okay? We got to fucking... We've got to do the fucking shit that we for fucking drug abuse. No! Are you listening?
Sean here. Today I want to talk about something I've thought about. What would it be like for these women? What would their greeting be like? What would they feel like when they got there to his trailer of failure? The TSA call. You've got a woman who is so high, intoxicated, inebriated, whatever you want to call it, and her companion who's in really bad shape, and they're having trouble getting on the airplane. Lauren, a psycho, doesn't care. That is Lauren, they need to go to rehab before they go anywhere. What are they going to do when they get to Cornville? They're not going to leave your trailer. They're going nowhere, Lauren, and you'll say it's for their own safety. You have a sex addict, drug addict coming out on a plane to visit you, and you told her she would be, quote, safe, unquote. Showing all the signs of a psycho stalker and a selfish psycho, you're telling this woman she'll be safe. You tell Emma to buy a plane ticket so that she can get these really... I can't even. Emma, spend $1,000, get on this plane, escort these two druggies to my trailer. I'm not going to pay you back. I never mentioned paying you back. Just buy a ticket and get them out there. Again, if your significant other, the one you've been talking to on the phone, is in no state to get on a plane, they probably shouldn't get on a plane. But he was getting pissed. He was so angry that these druggies were not going to get on a plane and come out and be prisoners in his trailer of failure. So Emma says no. You can tell Lauren is starting to get angry. He's not worried about them. He's worried about whether or not the guards are male. He's not worried about why they're getting strip searched. He's not worried about why they're having a body cavity check. His main concern is whether or not they are a man. Do they have a penis? Because if it was a beautiful, very feminine woman holding hands with her boyfriend and she had a strap on, and I'm not joking, I'm being serious, and she had a strap on, Lauren Armstrong would be screaming at Casey, "Get away, you gotta get away, why is she around you?" We know he's intimidated by penises. We've already talked about it. I mean, he knows he's inadequate, but that's all he was concerned about. That's it. Whether or not they were guys. So the TSA agent, who Lauren has not been on a plane, I don't know if he's ever been on one except to be carried across state lines for prison. But I'll tell you this, Lauren doesn't know the way the TSA is. These are not the police. The police aren't any better. Just because they have a badge doesn't mean they're good people. He starts talking about, I know better of this and that. Lauren, you know nothing. You don't even know what an air marshal is. If you had to describe what an air marshal is, you'd be like, well, he's kind of the guy, he sits there and he's like the hall monitor. I mean, maybe he is, but he doesn't fully understand the concepts of flying. I want to slap him. There have been intoxicated people, even sober people, that have tried to open the door. There was someone so high on drugs, they almost got the cabin door open, which would have crashed the plane. Well, Lauren's not thinking about everybody else's safety, whether or not they're going to go crazy, possibly hurt other passengers. He's worried about getting them on the plane. You remember what he said to Winnie, please get here. He's so desperate. Let's say after they went through that ridiculous ordeal where she's being grabbed and chased, and Lauren is screaming at this woman who is panicked, instead of saying, okay, listen to me. This is what you do. I want you to be calm. Here's what you're going to do. Lauren is screaming, run, run, run. Jesus Christ. Scream at him. turn around and scream in their face. So again, just hearing him say that proves he's a pussy and a coward. He's all bark and no bite. He just screams and yells in the naturally, when you're screaming and yelling at someone and they're looking at you at how pathetic you are, and you're screaming and yelling, they're like, do I even want to bother with this little kid? Nah. And they may just, dude, just go fix yourself. But Lauren thinks screaming and yelling at someone is going to make them back off. These guys who are already at the point where they have their hands on her. It's really scary. And he's antagonizing the TSA agents. He's screaming and yelling that he's a lawyer, and then saying Emma's undercover, pissing off the TSA agent even more, causing more problems. The normal person would have said, hey, I know you're dealing with that. Let me hang up the phone. Call me when you find out what's going on. But not Lauren. He wanted to stay on the phone. He truly believes that him, an 87, talking on the phone to anyone is going to accomplish something, especially when he's angry drunk. So let's say they got on the plane and they finally got there. I have a feeling, I have no doubt Lauren Armstrong would not be there to greet this woman he's supposedly in love with. He would not be there to greet her. They would have to get a cab out to the middle of nowhere, Cornville, or rent a car or something. Lauren is so desperate, you would assume he'd be there with a prison van to throw them in there, lock them up, but I don't think he would. He'd be sitting in his trailer of failure, moving dirt from here, moving over there. I don't think he would even bother. He'd probably already be drinking. When they get there, he'd be drunk. Go on in. Y'all go on in if you want to. Go ahead and set your stuff up. They'd walk in, look around, and be like, holy shit. The trailer is probably askew. It's probably not straight. There's a guy I know who's probably got close to over $1 million. His trailer has holes in the floor. And instead of buying a new home, he put an addition onto his trailer. That's the kind of crap Lauren would do. The money he's putting into that trailer, he could have built a micro home. He could have built something, but this is Lauren we're talking about. So they get there. Lauren probably wouldn't even hug them. Now I wonder if he was drunk, if he wouldn't pull Casey, not even let her get situated, pull her right on his lap and try to make out with her with that stinky baloney cigarette, alcohol, gingivitis, breath, open mouth, because he's never kissed a woman. Part of me also wonders if he would just wait until she's asleep. I don't think he can handle a live woman. I think he could be a serial killer. I think he prefers a woman incapacitated. He's always joking about when you're asleep, I'm going to do this, telling Ramona, I'm going to put my dick in your mouth while you're asleep, which is something a 7th grader might say when they first learn about sex and they don't know what sexual assault is. But I think if she's not pulled immediately onto his lap and he doesn't start barking orders, Emma would show up after paying money for a plane ticket, after paying money for the rental car. She would show up and Lauren would be like, okay, Emma, I really appreciate it. He'd want her out of there ASAP. Because the longer she's there, the more she can look around, the more she can see what's going on. He can't yell and scream at Casey. He wouldn't be happy. He'd be so angry at her for the extra drama she caused, for the inconvenience to him having to deal with her. He made her entire ordeal with the TSA and the cops about himself. I also wonder if he wouldn't say, all right, y'all sit down. Look at the two of us, and start singing. Huh? What'd you think of my singing? It's good, huh? What do you think of the trailer? You like it, huh? You know how he is. He's not going to ask questions. He knows the answers he wants. So they get there. He's either all over Casey from the beginning, telling Nick he needs to go somewhere and close the door, or he's given them a 2-hour tour of a trailer that's falling apart with nothing but dirt around it, showing them the dirty, disgusting places he would be going. He talks about, hey, we need to go to the bathroom, Lauren. It's been a long trip. Got you a tree over there, another tree over there. Lauren, we're hungry. What do you have? Bologna. Well, I got some beer. If y'all want some of that. Food that's definitely outdated, inhabiting his fridge and his freezer. I just don't think it would be a good welcome, a good face-to-face. I think it would be a disaster. And I wonder what would have happened when Winnie got there. Immediate fighting, immediate rage. Now, he might be on his best behavior right in the beginning until he gets angry. And he'd be drunk. The first night they were there, he'd be blackout drunk. Because again, once Lauren thinks he's in a relationship, they go straight past all the courting, all the niceties. They go right into the angry fighting. I can see him telling an exhausted, drugged up Casey when she got there, well, come on in, let's go in the bedroom, we're gonna have sex. All right, Lauren, what's sex? Well, just lay down. And he'd be praying she could help him find whatever sex is. He might even think it's a physical object. So here's the deal. Showing up at Lauren's trailer is not going to be a warm welcome. He doesn't care anything. He's probably going to ask you, did you bring anything? Did you get any food? Did you bring anything? Because in his mind, that would be perfectly acceptable. Well, if you're going to live here, you got to contribute. Lauren, we just got off the plane. All right, why don't y'all run up to the store, and while you're there, can you pick me up some beer and a pack of cigarettes? Welcome to Cornville. I wonder what you guys would receive as a warm welcome if you weren't his significant other. Say you traveled there, not Emma. He has some beef against Emma, I think, because she's not white. I really do believe that. I don't think he's capable of truly finding. Ramona was desperation. And I think he liked telling people, yeah, my girlfriend's black, ha ha ha, thinking he's cool. I'm not racist, look at me, when we know he's a racist. Unless there's a vagina involved, and maybe that racism will go away. But Ramona would show up. I think he would be nice, but he'd also see Ramona as an easy mark, an easy target, an easy rage victim. Winnie, we know there'd be abuse immediately. Casey would go from a woman living her life to a prisoner, never allowed to go anywhere or do anything. If Jamie Amy came to the trailer, I think Lauren sees her as just a sex object. Someone who knows what she's doing, who could finally teach him what sex is. I've never seen as many people last night in Babsby's stream that didn't think he was a virgin. I think there were 2. I think we all know he's a virgin. So I think getting a welcome at his house, it wouldn't be like getting a welcome at somebody's house you haven't seen forever, somebody you've been waiting to finally meet, where there's smiles and a warm embrace. I think Lauren would view it as, my mom's coming over, who I just saw yesterday. Mom, got some bologna in the fridge if you're hungry. Got a couple beers, maybe some iced tea. Y'all want some, go get it. Y'all come out here and sit with me. And he'd just be sitting out there drinking. He wouldn't put the beer down. He wouldn't put the cigarettes down. He would just tell them to go put their stuff inside. He wouldn't help. Go put your stuff inside and then come out here and see what you walked into. This isolated, disgusting, filthy yard, filthy trailer, and a filthy pizza chit who is now your host. And you're trapped. And you will never be able to leave because you have no vehicle. You would have to steal whatever vehicle he has at his house. Otherwise, you're going to be walking for a while. That's my random video for this morning. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one.